Should be a belter. England versus Australia to kick off your Ultimate Pool Champions League evening. Jay McCartney on the break. Australia's finest with a very, very good opening hit. So he'll have first dip at these. And I'll just run you through very quickly in case you aren't too familiar, or even if you are new around here to the world of Ultimate Pool. We are playing English 8-ball, that is reds and yellows. So pot your colour set, then pot the 8-ball. It's international 8-ball rules. Easy enough to follow. Myself and Simon will keep you abreast if there's anything that jumps out at us through the night. All 4 players tonight, these two, plus Mark Fleming and Scott Gillespie, will play each other for a total of 6 matches. 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw. Top of the pile at the end of the night goes through. If we're level on points, it's a 6-red shootout to determine who qualifies. We are races to 4 or 0 on the clock. Each match has a timer of 20 minutes. If we hit 0, we'll take the score at the time, which means the draw is in play.
Key here for Jake is that yellow, yeah, the one nearest the top centre pocket as we look on the overhead. If he drops the one into the corner, does he have an angle on that one to then get onto the next ball? Doesn't look ideal. Could have made the case that it was a good last ball to get onto the 8-ball. Yeah, that's what he's looking at now. If he cleared the yellows at the bottom first, then it would have worked perfectly.
Looks can be deceiving. These camera angles, I think he can sneak that yellow in. It's tight, but he's played.
If he's on it, he's good. I think he could then top through. My worry was he couldn't get above it to then top through to get on the next ball. But this is tight, but it could be ideal. Very tight. Yeah, and he's not on the next ball. That was always the problem with this finish.
So a tough plan, probably the plan here for Jakey. He won't love that.
No, because
you hear the puff of the cheeks.
Yeah, look at the layout of these reds. He knows this is essentially frame ball. If he misses this, he's expecting to lose the frame. Oh, beautiful. What a shot.
That's a really good shot.
Okay.
Notched by Karl in the corner.
Okay, still got a little bit of work left here because he's on this yellow, but not ideal to land on the next one. But this is as well as he could have played this one. On both ends of the shot as well, not just the plant, the position as well.
Yeah, if you think, well, he's got a bit lucky there, he's only just potted it. That was intentional. Had to use that side of the pocket to get the white where it needed to be. Same again. What a shot that is.
Cued that beautifully as well. Back-to-back great shots.
Well, for a first layout, it was about as fiddly as they come. But Jake has 2 very makeable shots here. And at the end of it all, a dead simple 8-ball. Jake McCartney is off and running. That is very, very good indeed. From McCartney, who has been a fantastic addition to the Ultimate Pool Tour since coming over from Australia a couple of years ago.
I was talking to him in his interview there about the fact that, and he says it himself, he's a better player now, having spent 2 years competing against the best players in the world with Ultimate Pool than he was when he first came over, but he won in that first weekend when he first came over. He really hit the ground running. Both these guys know what it's like to win on the Pro Series. Karl winning last year.
I wonder if Karl Sutton would say the same. He's a player whose career has sometimes gone through peaks and troughs, but last year was certainly a peak. 2 Ultimate Pool titles. That break was certainly not a peak, however.
I think for Karl, obviously this is a disaster of the break, but I think Karl's mental side of the game is huge because he was coming into tournaments with no belief and didn't really want to be there because he just didn't feel like he was quite at the races. But once he found some confidence, he knows his game is world class, and then it's just about delivering it out there and on the main stage, which he has done, and that's why he's won titles and looks dangerous in events since.
Oh, that's a bad shot from Jake McCartney. Just got his white ever so slightly wrong here.
Wanted that full ball contact, not the half ball that he got. It's actually quite a big shot in this match. Going 2-0 up in these short races is huge.
I see Mark Fleming watching on in the background. He'll be up against Scott Gillespie in our next match. Jake makes the hit. Is he going to reach a cushion? No, that's a foul. So you must hit a cushion after contact every single shot you play. Doesn't matter if you full ball snookered like Jake was there.
Makes a big difference here as well. These two reds on the right hand side without cue ball in hand would have been very difficult to work out. As you can see, Karl can give himself the perfect shot here. Okay, it's still going to be delicate, but he's as good as he could ever hope to be on this ball. He may not even take it on, it's that delicate. It's awkward this way around as well.
Yeah, but the pot's easier. I think that's the thinking. Yeah, that's okay. I think he probably weighed that up, and the cue ball was probably just as difficult on both, but when you're probably playing at that sort of pace, you'd rather have the closer pocket to deal with.
But having cue ball in hand made the big difference, didn't it? If he had to try and get the cue ball there, he just wouldn't do it. He probably would have ended up playing a cannon, which can always go wrong.
Karl about as experienced with this shot clock on a Monday night as you can be, having reached 2 Pairs Cup finals with his doubles partner, Sean Chipperfield. Won one and lost one.
He was trying to slide by the 8 ball there to be on the one on the right-hand side, so reroute.
That's a nice shot.
Just gonna roll further, I think, than would have been ideal. I don't know, can he just nip this? He needs to stay straight, or ideally half a roll short of straight on the red to the left centre, just to top through for the last red down the cushion. He might have to go back and forth here. In fact, he killed it in too well.
Yeah, there's that nip that you talked about.
Yeah, he could have done with another roll there. One more roll would have made this a little bit easier. Oh, pinched the pocket well. Very good. Just had to pop that in the side of the pocket. And I like the way he's worked through this finish. Very nice.
Really, really good from Karl Sutton. Both players off and running here. Very impressive. And we talk about the sort of player Karl is. I mean, he's been around the top level of the game for a very, very long time. He is a Pro Series champion, won the Pairs Cup, the Ultimate Pool as well. Won so many World Team Champions. He's been a staple of that England team for, you know, that part of a decade now and more.
And not just that for me, he's obviously been a staple of the team, but he's been a leader in that team for a while now as well. We got to see that firsthand in Killarney this year. You know, he really is one of the top guys for that English team.
Jake McCartney's break was superb. First time around. Cool, that's even better. 8 ball was in motion too. Not too sure how that's dry. Don't think Jake McCartney is either.
He did hit this one better as well. The first one, he just got that smidge too much backspin on it. It almost bounced off the pack, whereas this time the power really drove through. And it's a maddening game because he got a ball off the last one and a good chance. This one comes up dry.
Yeah, and Karl won his first frame of the match on his break, but relied on a Jake McCartney mistake for that because Karl's break was awful.
Yeah.
He almost got away with one, really, to stay on serve.
Yeah, when you break like Karl did in the previous one, you are expecting to lose the frame. So the fact he's 1-1 and not 2-0 down is a massive bonus here. Does the yellow that's in the triangle area, can just sit next to the line, does that go to the corner? Just had a little look. I think it does. If not, I think he may have played for it into the top corner there. Yeah, must do. He's played on it. Yeah, half a pocket.
Yeah, just double checking.
He's leaving one down the table, or he may leave one down the table. The problem with leaving that one at the bottom of the table is if you get just off angle on it, that 8 ball could become tricky to land on. Okay, there's plenty of room there. There's more than it looks. That red isn't in play, but if you land sort of top side of straight on that yellow as a last ball, you could end up awkward getting on the 8 ball. Whereas the one he's on now, you just couldn't not get on the 8 ball with.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
And he has come past ideal on this one. And he has landed short of that straight.
That's a long way short of that straight.
If he gets straight, he's perfect. And if he gets a few rolls past straight, he's perfect. Here, he's working. Easy to come up short onto the 8 ball now.
I think he's got a nice line. This is all about the pace, really.
Yeah, beautiful.
And controlled it really, really nicely. So Karl Sutton takes a 2-1 leads. 8 minutes and change to play. Clock will keep on running through the first section of the match. Once we hit 5 minutes, we'll have the 15-second shot clock. And we'll also see the clock stop for the Wreckins balls as well.
That's very good from Karl. Back-to-back visits at the table, back-to-back clearances. The start of his night off, and could easily have found himself 2-0 behind, or Jake had the chance to go 2-0 up, and all of a sudden, Karl comes to the table thinking a big break here. 3-1, break the back of this match. Needs to break better than the last one, though.
Yeah, break one was a disaster, really, for Karl Sutton.
Oh, this one's not much better. I mean, the cue ball's going to stay on the table, but
not that you'd know it.
Oof, that's where the game really hurts you. Jake hit his last break really well, comes up dry, gets punished, and, well, complete miss hit from Karl. That's 2 out of 2 that Karl's miss hit.
Couple of options for him here.
I like reds if the one on the bottom cushion slides by the yellow. The reason I don't really like yellows because that one near the middle is awkward. But it might have to be yellows because if that one on the bottom cushion doesn't go for reds, then reds are tough.
I think on the yellow as well, you could maybe get creative, use one at the top of the table as a plan.
Yeah, I think he probably has to. Then the yellow will come across to the sort of middle of the table. Maybe he has to play it firmer, get it across the right-hand side. It can go awkward. The reason I liked reds more than yellows if the one at the bottom went was simply that the red that is next to the yellow that's causing a problem was easier to solve. Easy to have a nice little delicate cannon onto it. Reds around it.
Yeah, eyeing it up now, which I quite like actually, because it gives him a bit of an insurance policy. If it does go a little bit awry, he's not relying on his next ball coming up nice. He's got the insurance down at the bottom right of the table. Yeah, that'll do.
You couldn't play on a moving ball, or it's never ideal to. The only thing I would say, I thought he was going to pull the cue ball back a good foot and a half, so at least he was leaving an angle to go up the table, because the yellow was always going to stay in the top half. He's actually given himself a bad angle on the yellow at the bottom of the table, and he's looking to pick a gap because of it.
Yeah, and it's not a big gap either. He has got there just. Oh, he had to use all the pocket. And he snookered on the 8 ball, I think.
And this is all to do with not pulling back far enough 2 shots ago.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was so tight. I think he couldn't see the thinner side of it. Can he bend this one in? Big shot if he can. Not a bad effort. There's no foul at least, but Jake McCartney comes to the table with the chance to square things up. 15-second shot clock now in play 2.
It's not the worst leave. Jake will be thrilled to be at the table, but he hasn't left anything easy on for Jake, who would have been hoping to come to the table with a nice, easy clear-up job and then have the break in the next frame. He may have to get creative, maybe take a pot on with an element of safety. May just be an out-and-out safety. It is.
He's judged that pretty well, I think.
Yeah. He's looking to come off 1 cushion. Well, this is every chance of sliding lower the 8 ball here.
Oh, he missed that by much. But Jake McCartney will get the chance now to go and win the frame. Always think it's a bit of a gamble, leaving the 1 cushion.
Don't think he had too much choice there, to be honest. It's if Karl makes it out of that snooker, then sometimes it's you have to take that. He wasn't left anything easy to go at. Now they're all there for him. And in a strange way, even though he's 2 on behind, he's in the driving seat. He's breaking next. He's going to leave himself a couple of minutes to maybe steal the win away.
And Jake, he needs to keep his confidence because in reality, he's played 1 bad shot, including the 2 breaks. Cannon went wrong, snooking himself in frame number 2. Since then, hasn't seen the table. But he looks to be playing well.
He's not overly rushing. He doesn't need to. 2 minutes is enough time for that break clearance. He doesn't really need to rush to try and give himself more time because you can't use it on a 15-second shot clock. So it's actually to his benefit to go at a nice pace on this one. Because if he makes the break clearance in the next, he doesn't leave enough time for another one.
So just shy of 2 minutes dead then. 1:59 left to play. Jake McCartney with the big break coming up. Desmond in the first match of the night.
Karl's going to be kicking himself. That was a really good opportunity. And 2 sort of half errors, really. Half an error, not coming back far enough, and then another half an error, just misjudging the cannon on the red. And it's cost him a frame.
Two breaks hit so far. 2 breaks hit very well for Jake McCartney. 3 from 3, and he'll have a chance to win the match. So he hopes. Oh, so he hopes. Well, what's he left? It's a dry break, but is it a nice leave for him in the sense that Karl's got nothing to play?
Unless the red that he's nearest to goes through the gap of the other 2 and into the middle pocket, I don't think he's on a thing here.
1:45 and tick, tick, ticking.
That's the best of the 3 breaks that Jake's hit, and he's dry again.
Karl's played a good shot there, bit of tippy-tappy to kick things off. Table's wide open, that's the biggest issue here.
Yeah, and it's hard for Jake to return the favour here. Every chance that Jake leaves a red on when he plays this, it's hard to sort of not leave the red to the top left, top right as we look from the overhead. That's why he's using every single second. Oh, he's played a great shot. That really was a great shot.
And now Karl's going to try and use up most of the clock here.
Yeah, he's returned the favour. He's given Karl the same problem. It's slightly easier for Karl where he is to get this one back into a tight position.
He's dangled the carrot for me there. He's dangled the carrot.
He wasn't trying to leave this on. He was trying to weld that to the red and leave nothing. Jake has the chance. Okay, 30 seconds isn't much.
He's about as laid back a character as you'll ever meet, Jake McCartney. He's not a man to naturally move quickly.
It's going to come down to one shot. Can he get the cue ball onto the one in the bottom half of the table? Oh, Jake, you've not left yourself on the one on the top right now. He's going to run out of time.
Yeah, ran out of time. So they'll settle for the draw. 2-2 it finishes. Karl Sutton probably quite a relieved man as the way that final frame unfolded. Jake McCartney, not enough time to get the win.